Here's my 5 tips for shooting a live show. So in this video, I'm not going to talk about settings or gear or anything like that. What I'm actually going to talk about are 5 tips to make sure that your shoot goes smoothly. So my first tip is planning. You want to get into the venue as early as you possibly can and you want to scope it out. If you're like me, you're a one-man team and nobody wants to watch a video where all the footage is from the front of the stage. You need to walk around the venue and you need to find your angles. Sometimes I even search on YouTube to see if anybody else has posted a video that has been shot at that venue. This is a good way of finding out angles that are proven to work, but it's always worth having a look around yourself and finding out what works best for you. As soon as I get into a venue, I will see is there a balcony. If there is, that's great, that's always a great shot. So I'll find out the quickest way of getting to the balcony from the stage so I can get up there, get that shot and get to my next angle. I'll also try and find out what's the easiest way to get to the front of house, which is where the sound desk is. That's usually always cordoned off by fencing, which is really good because you can get those nice shots where you've got the crowd directly in front of you. Also, if you do have stage access, you want to have a look around the stage, find out where all the areas are for getting onto and off of the stage, and find all your general easiest access routes. If you're not on the tour or if it's a one-off show and you can't get access to the venue before it opens, you want to be there first in line, you want to get straight in there, and before any of the bands even go on stage, you want to be doing this, you want to be moving around, find out what looks best and find the quickest way to get to those places. There is nothing worse than mid-shoot you realise that you're just getting all the same angles and you need to go find somewhere else and you're having to do that on the fly and you're trying all different doors and all different corridors and you end up missing 50% of the show. Tip number 2 is introduce yourself. This one kind of leads on from the last tip in terms of planning ahead, but you want to introduce yourself to the local security and the crew. You want to explain who you are and what you'll be doing. You want to ask if there's any do's or don'ts, any areas you can't go to, all the areas that you're cleared to be in, and just let them know that you're shooting with the band, because you just can't expect people to know who you are and what you're doing. When you're in the photo pit, you can only get the first 3 songs of the act, but if you're working with the band, you can generally stay in the photo pit for the whole set. Again, like I said in my previous tip, you don't want to be constantly in the photo pit, but letting the local security know who you are and that you're working with the band will eradicate that issue. It makes life a lot easier for everyone involved. Everybody's there to do a job, and the smoother the show goes, the happier everybody involved will be. Tip number 3 is don't interrupt the show. This is something I've seen a lot of people do. Don't just wander around the stage getting your shots. If you're cleared for stage access, then get in there, get your shots, and get out. At the end of the day, these fans have paid to see a show. They haven't paid to see Joe Bloggs hunched over his camera trying to nail his focus. Remember, you're there to document the show, not be a part of it. Also be aware that the crew will be there running around doing their jobs, so stay out the way. Again, introducing yourself and scoping out where you can and can't be beforehand sorts all these problems out. Tip number 4 is have everything that you need at hand. You always want to make sure that you've got spares of everything on you at the time. I use this small bag and always make sure that I've got more fully charged batteries than I would actually need for the shoot, plenty of formatted SD cards, and any lenses that I may want to switch out during the show. What I see some people doing is they'll actually leave all their stuff in their camera bag and we'll leave that on the side of the stage or at the front of the stage. Firstly, it's not safe. I've fallen foul of this once before where one of my cameras got damaged, which I'm the only person who can take fault for that, but also because shooting a live show is a very, very fast-paced environment. The last thing you want to be doing is running to and from your bag, trying to find the batteries that you have charged up or trying to get your SD card, and especially if your SD cards aren't formatted as well, you're just wasting valuable time and you're going to miss your shots. And tip 5, which is probably one of the more important tips, is don't be a d***. It's pretty simple really, isn't it? Nobody wants to be around that guy. You never want to be that guy. You'll make a bad name for yourself and people talk. It'll affect the prospect of future work, and plus it's just a general negative trait to have. We all get stressed at times. I know I've been stressed on shoots before, but there's no need to take it out on other people. So yeah, there's my 5 tips for shooting a live show. If you start implementing all these tips into your shoot, then you'll find everything runs a lot smoother. You'll have time to get a lot more shots, and the general quality of your content will get much better. If you guys have got any tips, leave them in the comments below. If you found any valuable information from this video, drop me a like and subscribe to keep up to date with future videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.